So a Spintron's a machine which is basically a big DC engine. That bolts to the back of the engine. Using lasers, it actually measures your valve deflection. The DC engine will spin the engine over and run it up through the RPM, and lasers will actually measure the actuation of your valves, and then basically the Spintron is then measuring to see if you get valve flow through the RPM range. Realistically, if you had a Spintron, you could develop camshaft profiles and you could start dropping spring pressure out of these engines, because you've got to understand that if you're running such high spring pressures, the engine physically has to operate that. So you're losing torque from the engine to operate your valve train. So you want to try and run as minimal spring pressure as possible, but at the same time, have enough to keep the engine in operation. So Spintron's a really, really good tool to measure that and pull valve spring out of it. If they had that back in the day, one team could honestly dominate, because they could start pulling spring out of it, pulling cam out of it if it was unnecessary to make the same power, because you'd just move between the Spintron and then the engine dyno.